This is an old mine cut. You can always identify an old mine cut by looking directly in the center. Usually there's a culet facet, that little facet there. On modern diamonds, that's a point, and there really is no facet there. And you can also see you've got large facets on the pavilion next to short facets. Not to be confused with a modern, brilliant cushion cut. A little micro history, diamonds kind of come out of the ground, this double-sided pyramid shape. And at some point in time, we figured out that if you polish the top of the stone nice and flat, you get this beautiful table. Scratches less stuff, and it's kind of nicer because the bottom reflects light through that new flat spot on the top. So it's like, this is a great idea. So the old mine cut, we took this shape and we decided this is pretty, let's add more of those pretty facets. So we start to add those extra facets. So before we just had one facet on each corner, 4 on the bottom, but now we're going to add this one, and we're going to get rid of that point. The reason that the bottom facet is added, you know, that little bottom part right there, you put a facet there because it breaks off. So you want to facet that so you can polish the side facets without snapping the tip off. And then eventually we liked this design so much that we realized that if we made it round, we could actually achieve angles that are very consistent. So a couple of these angles bounce out light, and then maybe this one doesn't so much. But if you make the whole shape round, like this one, you actually can keep all of the facet angles at the same angle, which makes the light return even better. So that's the evolution of the old mine cut. We've got something that's great. And then the old European cut, which you probably hear old mine, old European. I found this confusing in the beginning. But the old European is always round, and the old mine is always cushion shaped. There's nothing in between unless it's like a modern deviation. There are a few examples that break the rule, but that's basically it. So if it has a culet, it's either or, but if it's round, it's definitely an old mine. And then the modern brilliant is this one over here. And this one's most interesting because it's almost the same as the old mine. It's just that they've pushed those main facets closer to the actual culet point, which allows most of the stone to have almost the same refraction angle, and it makes those facets a little tighter. So you're maximizing these facets here to come down a little further. You're getting more sparkle and more scintillation, which is the splitting of the, we'll get into it another day, light through the crown. So you get even more sparkle with the modern brilliant round. And this is basically what all modern fancy cuts, with the exception of the emerald cut, basically are based around. That they're taking this profile and they're pushing it onto marquee shapes, pear shapes, oval shapes, so you name it. So that's in trillions, and even a princess cut is basically this pushed onto a square.